Okay, let's talk about something fascinating. We all think about the big stuff for our health, right? But have you ever stopped to consider the microscopic powerhouses inside you? The ones working 24/7 to keep you going, especially when life gets crazy. Well, today we're going to shine a spotlight on one of the most crucial, yet totally overlooked players in your internal support system. It's a trace mineral with a huge job, molybdenum. Just look at this. This is modern life for so many of us. High-pressure jobs, a constant flood of information, endless demands on our time and energy. All that external chaos, it creates an incredible amount of work inside our bodies. I mean, every meal, every drink, even every breath we take in a busy city, our system has to process all of it. So what's the internal machinery that's actually handling this relentless workload? And that right there brings us to our main character for today. An element that plays this massive role, but it just rarely gets the spotlight. It really is a true unsung hero, a vital microelement working tirelessly behind the scenes. So what is it exactly? Well, molybdenum is what's known as a trace mineral. That means we only need tiny, tiny amounts of it, but its impact? It's enormous. You can think of it like a master key. It doesn't do the work itself, but it activates these essential enzyme systems that are literally the backbone of our metabolism and our detoxification pathways. Without it, these critical processes just, well, they can't happen.
But okay, what does that actually mean for you, day to day? What is molybdenum's real job inside your body? It's not just about being there, it's all about what it allows our bodies to actually do.
Here's probably the best way to picture it. Imagine your body has an elite team of 4 internal specialists, and each one has a super critical job. Now, molybdenum isn't the whole team, but it's like the high-tech key card they all need to get into the lab and use their equipment. Without that key card, these highly trained specialists are basically powerless. So you ready? Let's meet this specialist team. There are 4 key enzymes that are absolutely dependent on molybdenum to function, and each one has a very specific and very important role in keeping you running at your best. First up, we've got sulfite oxidase. You can call this one the detoxifier. If you've ever felt a little off after drinking certain wines or eating dried fruit, you've probably encountered sulfites. This enzyme's job is to find them and neutralize them. But that's not all. It's also absolutely critical for processing some of the fundamental building blocks from protein. We're talking about sulfur-containing amino acids, which are essential for everything from your hair and skin to your joints. Next, meet xanthine oxidase, who we'll call the metabolism manager. This specialist focuses on breaking down compounds called purines. These are just natural byproducts that come from our cells constantly recycling DNA. Now, this process really ramps up if you eat a high-protein diet or you put your body through some intense exercise. So this enzyme is crucial for keeping that whole process in balance and preventing any unwanted buildup. Our third specialist is aldehyde oxidase, or the toxin processor. You see, our bodies naturally create these potentially toxic compounds called aldehydes just as part of normal metabolism. And on top of that, we're also exposed to them from things like pollution and smoke. This enzyme, which works mostly in the liver, is a key player in neutralizing them, basically keeping us clean on the inside. And finally, the fourth member of the team is a component known as MARC. Let's call it the mitochondrial assistant. This one works right inside the powerhouses of our cells. The mitochondria. It helps manage these really complex chemical reactions that are essential for producing energy efficiently. Think of it as giving your cellular engines a crucial tune-up. Okay, so we've met the team. We have the detoxifier, the metabolism manager, the toxin processor, and the mitochondrial assistant. But how does the work of these specialists actually translate into real-world support for your body, especially when you're under pressure? Let's connect the dots. So here's the bottom line. By powering up that elite team of enzymes, molybdenum directly supercharges our body's detoxification systems. What that means is it helps the liver manage a heavy toxic load, it helps neutralize sensitivities to things like sulfites in our food, and it aids in converting a whole bunch of harmful compounds into harmless waste that our body can just get rid of.
And the story doesn't stop with detox. It's just as vital for our metabolism. It's all about keeping things in that delicate balance. From processing the byproducts of a protein-rich meal to supporting the body's own antioxidant defenses, molybdenum is a key player, keeping our metabolic engine running smoothly and efficiently.
And this brings us full circle right back to that demanding, high-performance world we talked about at the beginning. When you're under intense physical or mental stress, the demand on all these systems, detox, metabolism, energy, it just skyrockets. Your body is practically screaming for that specialist team to work overtime, which means the demand for their essential key, molybdenum, goes way up too. But here's the thing. Just having enough of a mineral in your diet, that's only half the battle. There's another crucial piece to this puzzle: bioavailability. It's not just about the element itself, it's about how effectively your body can absorb it and actually use it. The form it comes in really matters.
And I can't overstate this point. You could have the most potent nutrient in the world, but if your body can't actually absorb it and get it to the cells that need it, well, it's pretty much useless, right? The delivery system is every bit as important as the payload.
So one method that's designed to maximize this absorption is something called a colloidal solution. Basically, in this form, the mineral particles are incredibly fine and they're suspended evenly in a liquid. This high dispersion can lead to a much gentler absorption, and it also allows for what's called sublingual use. That's when you hold it under your tongue. This offers a more direct pathway into the bloodstream, bypassing parts of the digestive system. Now, the whole goal of an advanced formulation like this is to achieve a really high standard of quality. And what that means, ideally, is ensuring pharmaceutical-grade purity and using stabilization technology to make sure the solution stays consistent and effective from the very first dose to the very last. So, molybdenum is clearly a vital player. There's no doubt about it. But it's so important to remember that our bodies are these incredibly complex ecosystems. No single element ever works in isolation. So to really understand health, we've got to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. A systemic approach to wellness often looks at how different functions are all interconnected. For example, you might start by supporting the nervous system, which is kind of the body's command center. Then you look at supporting metabolism and detox. That's the engine and the cleanup crew. And finally, you'd support the fundamental stability of the cells themselves. You see how each part supports the others?
This creates such a logical and comprehensive progression. You start with the body's command and control, the nervous system. Then you support the engine that processes fuel and waste. That's our metabolism. And finally, you reinforce the very foundation, the health and integrity of the cells themselves. It's a truly holistic way to think about supporting your entire body.
Which leaves us with a final and pretty fascinating question. We've uncovered the story of one unsung hero today. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other microscopic keys, these tiny but incredibly powerful components that are essential to our well-being, what else are we still overlooking? What other secrets are our own bodies just waiting for us to discover?